Intensive Faith Therapy. My name is Vanessa and I am author of the book Intensive Faith Therapy. Are you ready to renew your mind and receive all that God has for you through Christ Jesus? Well, it takes more than just accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior. You must renew your mind in order to receive all that God has for you. We hear a lot of good preaching and teaching about reaching your destiny and living with purpose. But if your mind has not been renewed, your destiny will become just a dream that you're constantly chasing. On our program today, we will talk about energy and attitude. Your attitude will determine the amount of energy that you have to complete the task that God has for you to do. Do you have a good attitude? Do people want to be around you? That would give you a good indication of whether or not your attitude is good. Let's look at a presentation that my husband, Derrick, did during our Intensive Faith Therapy Bahamas Cruise Conference. He presented the idea of the energy bus, which is a book by John Gordon that talks about 10 rules for the ride of your life. Let's listen. Our first presentation this morning deals with getting yourself in the right mindset, the right energy, even before we deal with the mind, the right energy. And to do that, we have none other than our own cheerleader for happiness and good energy. And if you ever run into Derrick anywhere, he's just always high energy. He has a good attitude, and I'm not just saying that because he's my husband. But we've been locked up in a van with the whole family for the last 3 or 4 days, and he can still smile, so that's a good thing. Cracking jokes all the way. Derrick Collins is going to talk to us about the energy bus.
I love the fact that I get to kind of be the first, because I really wanted to try to use this opportunity to set the tone, because this is all about energy. The name, it's in the name. It's all about positivity and energy. And you know who has the most control over what kind of attitude we have? We do, right? So this is the easiest place to do it. So this is kind of our practice ground. We are on a cruise, folks. I don't know if you noticed, but there's nothing but water around us. There's a little island right over there, but you have to take a boat just to get there. So there's a little island around us. So we have the opportunity in an environment that it should be really easy. If you can't stay positive and have fun and energy and all that kind of stuff here, then you need to really go home and meditate. But then when we leave here, we want to be able to maintain this, right? Yeah. So this is all about the energy bus, and there's a book. The book is called The Energy Bus by John Gordon, and it's a very good book. It's a real easy read if you happen to want to read it, and it really talks about a gentleman named George who goes through. He's struggling at home with his wife. He's struggling to keep his job, and it really focuses on work. And he's struggling to keep his job and work. He's a manager, and he leads a team that doesn't respect him and doesn't like him, and he's just having a hard time. And his car breaks down. On top of everything else, his wife is like, you know, if you don't shape up, I'm out of here, Jack. And he goes out to his car, and it's flat when he's trying to go to work. And he's already stressed. He comes back in, I need a ride to work. And his wife is like, no, I got stuff to do. So you're on your own. So he has to take the bus. And he takes the bus, and he takes, guess what? The energy bus. He gets on a bus with a bus driver named Joy. Now, I'm not going to explain the entire book to you because I'm going to go through some of the concepts of the book, but joy represents what we need to be thinking. Because what I'm going to talk to you about is the fact that this energy bus right here, when I'm done, I want everybody to realize that you have your own energy bus. You're the driver of your own bus, and everybody on your bus are people that are going to help you get where you're going to go, but you're also going to help them get where they want to go. All right? So with that, consider me your positivity pilot.
All right.
Or your happiness admiral. I can be your fun in the sun captain, or your smile director. Any one of those will do. But get in your positive mindset. I'm sure you're already there. I can tell by the looks on some of your faces. Even tired, we're in our positive mindset.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, first of all, I think it's an important concept. You heard people say this before, right? Why? Because we're talking about leadership, and I told you we're talking really about leadership and the fact that you're going to be the captain. You're going to be the captain. See, I'm on a boat. You're going to be the driver of your own bus.
Right.
But the leadership also makes the reference, and you've heard people say this when we talk about driving your own bus, which we're going to talk about. The best leaders are people who know how to follow.
Yes.
All right. So that cliche goes hand in hand, and it's important to understand that while you're part of a bus, or while you're leading a bus, you're also part of a bus.
Exactly.
And that's okay. To reach the members of your own bus, though, you need to be able to walk in their shoes.
Mm-hmm.
A great concept that I think makes a lot of sense. It's easy to understand where you are because you're there. It's not always easy to understand where somebody else comes from. And most of the time, folks don't even really consider that. You just think everybody should kind of be on the same level you are, so you operate kind of in that sense. Now, you really have to operate a little different. So 10 rules. There's 10 rules to the rule. 10 rules to the ride of your life. I love the name of it, right? First, you're the driver of your bus.
Yeah.
You're the one who's going to lead the way and guide the way. You're the one who's going to set the tone. If your bus is positive or negative, you are the one who's going to lead the way. So remember that. It's important that you realize that the tone that's set is yours, right? So if you decide now, the bus, first you're the driver, but you're also a passenger on the bus.
Right.
So the first person and the person you have the most control over as far as your attitude is you. So as the driver of your bus, make sure you remember that. Desire, vision, and focus move your bus in the right direction. Everybody knows without vision, people perish. So you have to have a goal, you have to have a vision, you have to have desire. I always look at that as passion. That holds the line right there. It's all about passion. You have to want. You have to want to be positive. You all know there are people out there who really don't necessarily want to be positive. Matter of fact, they kind of feel around the negative. Some people even look for the negative.
Yep.
We have to show a better way, right? So we're going to lead our bus, and we're going to talk about how to handle some of those people. All right. Fuel your ride with positive energy. I heard it. I appreciate it. Thank you. I've heard very positive things about the fact that apparently I appear to be very positive to people. I don't know. I appreciate that. As she said that, as Vanessa just said that, and I've heard other people say, and people at work say that too. And I can't tell you that is one of the greatest compliments that I can think of ever receiving, is that. Because you go through your day and you don't really think about it, and at the end of your day you think, well, it's not like I was walking around thinking I got to keep smiling all day, but you wonder, how did I present myself to other folks? And it's always good to know that people feel that way. But it takes some time to learn to be that way. I'm just saying. Invite people on your bus and share your vision for the road ahead. If you have a positive bus that's headed in the right direction, you want people on it. That's what we do. We witness. That's part of our job as Christians, right? So we want people on it. So when we got our bus headed in the right direction, which is all the time, and we want people on our bus. We want people to join in and get on our bus, and hopefully eventually they'll be ready to jump on their own bus and lead their own way, and they'll probably stay on yours. They're not going to climb off your bus, but they'll then have their own, right?
Did you get those 4 rules? Let's look at them again. You're the driver of your bus. You drive the energy and you set the pace. Desire, vision, and focus move your bus in the right direction. Fuel your ride with positive energy. You determine the attitude on your bus. Your positive energy is greater than anyone's doubt. Invite people on your bus and share your vision for the road ahead. Now you may be saying, Vanessa, that sounds real easy. But what about those challenging people that I run into? Well, let's listen to the next 3 rules.
Here we go. Don't waste your energy on those who don't get on your bus. As Christians, we do that a lot. We get those folks that just don't want to get on the bus, and we just spend more time with those people than anything, and they're just not going to get on the bus. There's a name for them, and we're about to mention it.
Okay.
Post a sign that says, "No energy vampires allowed on your bus." When you get those people on your bus that just don't, not only do they not want to be here, but they're trying to suck the life out of everybody on your bus, they got to go.
Yeah.
I know it's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
And we do it nicely. You can positively ask somebody to get on here. We do it very nicely, but they have to go. But why? Because while that one person, you might be trying to pull that one person in, but if you bring in 10 other people down, then
Right.
you're not necessarily helping yourself. So that's important. No energy vampire. And the truth is, you really help somebody out like that. Because if people can be negative and get away with it, they're going to keep being negative. But if somebody's negative, and you say, we're not going to have that here. We're having a ball. We're having us a good old time right here. We're going to have us a good time on this cruise. Somebody decides to pull that away, you know what? I'm going to pull away from them. Because they're going to look and they're going to say, yeah, I think I'd rather have fun with them over there. I might need to change my attitude because they're having a lot of fun. And I'm over here complaining. I'm not going to do that. Enthusiasm attracts more passengers and energizes them during the ride.
Yeah.
If you want to be energized during the ride, all you need is some positivity. All you need is some enthusiasm. Again, we have the easiest practice ground in the world. There's plenty of enthusiasm out here. So we won't have a problem doing that right now.
Right.
Of course, I might have to think about it a little bit. We might be a little spoiled after this week. And we might have to create our own enthusiasm after this week. Memories, that's what pictures are for. So we'll need those. But enthusiasm, that kind of energy, that passion, that same words really. It's just a different way to look at it. That whole energy and passion and positivity, that's what's going to fuel your ride.
Don't waste your energy on those that don't get on your bus. Post a sign that says, "No energy vampires allowed on your bus." Enthusiasm attracts more passengers and energizes them during the ride. Yes, you will have challenging people that will try to challenge the positive energy that you bring into your life and the lives of people around you. But remember, you're the driver of your bus. This is your life. You determine the energy and the attitude. Let's look at the last 3 rules.
Now, you have, this is key, this is as biblical as it gets right here. Right there, number 8. Love your passengers.
Yeah.
You have passengers on your bus, right? And you have people. You have to love your passengers. All of them. You have to love them. You have to, because if you love them, you want them to succeed. Anybody with kids, right? You love your kids. They may be bad. They may put you through a lot. They may be half crazy. Who knows? You might wonder, is that really bad? Because they're not like that. But you still love them. You have to love your kids, and you have to love your passengers the same way, because you want them to be successful. When you love someone, you want them to be successful. So you want them to have that same positivity that you have, and that same enthusiasm and desire that you have. Drive with purpose. Same thing. Talks about a goal, but you have to have a purpose, and your purpose has to be to have that positivity and to share that positivity and to want other people to feel the same way. That's really what we're here for. We want people to know the goodness of Jesus Christ. And you can't show the goodness of Jesus Christ by being depressed. That just doesn't cut it. People don't look at you and go, "What must I do to be saved?" They go, "What must I do to get away from you?" And that doesn't work. So we have to do that. Last but not least, and this is key for this trip, but not just for this trip. If you really want to know why Derrick can more times than not, I'm not perfect, stay positive, it's because I choose to have fun. It's so much easier. It's so much more fun. Even in times that are somewhat stressful and can be somewhat challenging, maybe fun is not the word, but I can still feel good. There's something good.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm walking, there's something good.
Mhm.
If I can get up, if I can eat, if I can whatever, and I can definitely eat. If I can wear green, I don't know. I'll find a reason. Stephanie complimented my. That was good. I could have put on red. And she would have liked that too. Purple, she would have really liked. But have fun and enjoy the ride. It's a long ride, but a fun ride is never long. Matter of fact, you almost wish it could stretch out a little longer. If you're having fun, you're not thinking about time. You're just enjoying the ride. So basically, that kind of wraps up everything. But you know what? Go back. Do me a favor. I want to make sure I didn't forget anything. I'm gonna roll through these real quick. A couple of important points that I almost did forget because I kind of rolled through them. And one of them, I talk about you set the pace, right? How fast you go and how quickly you move, how fast you get it done. But you know what? That's a word that I almost forgot to mention, and that's why I put this stuff here so I'll remember it. Is, it's important to realize that you set the pace, and it's important to realize that, and we do this a lot, you don't set pressure on yourself. Maybe you don't move as fast. Maybe your bus doesn't move quite as fast as everybody else's bus, or maybe somebody else's bus seems to be further ahead along than yours. It's not. As long as you're going forward, you set the pace. Just make sure and be content with that, and don't beat yourself up because your pace might seem like it's slower than somebody else. One, it might not be slower than somebody else. That's another trick that we get ourselves into a lot of times, and this is almost part of human nature, is that we're very competitive.
Yes.
So sometimes we like to see where our bus is compared to everybody else's bus. The truth is, all of our buses are going to the same place, right? We all took the plane, we drove. Oh, yeah. All of our buses are going to the same place. You all took the plane, we drove. We all got here. Some of y'all got a little worried at the airport, I heard. But you got here. But we all got here, and that was all right. We all made it to our destination where we wanted to go, and we got here when we needed to be here, right? And that's the goal. The last one is a bonus, right? Because you're the driver of your bus, and the people on your bus are really your team. But there's a couple of different teams, so that's why I call it a bonus. Now, first of all, if you have and I keep using the analogy bus. I hope you guys are okay with me. But if you have a team where, you have a lot of, and the best way to have a great team. Now, any team, if you got 3 people on your bus, and they all your cousins, that's all right. Mm-hmm. But the best way to have a great team is to have a very diverse team. Mm-hmm. It's to have a team of different types of people. And if you're a positive person who gets along, you get along with anybody. Mm-hmm. Now, I say that, and I got on the elevator trying to speak to people, and they didn't speak my language. But they recognized the smile. Right. It was okay. They didn't understand a word I said, but they're like, that works. Now, they might not ride on my bus, because it might be a long ride. But hopefully they will, go out and start their own bus. But a team is important. The power of a team is always better. As great as a mind as one person might have, other folks with the same goals, the same passion, and the same desires are always going to be able to reach further and always going to be able to reach out more than other folks. Now, and the more diverse you are, the more different types of people. I mean, as much as, especially us, we cling to our people, of course, and of course, I know everybody does it, and it's all right. It shows some unification. I think it's great. But you ever notice? Of course you do. You've probably done it here. When you walk around and you pass people, you tend to nod at the black people. Yeah, you do that. You walk by, you see some people, and you might smile. You see somebody black, you're like, how you doing? What's going on? The guys, that's what Brian laughing. He knows. The guys especially, like, what's going on? So it's just human nature. But that's all right, and and we work together. But the team does not necessarily have to be that way. The hard part about working with diverse minds is you don't always work alike. Right. People who learn to agree to disagree usually make for incredibly great teams. Because as much as my way might seem good to me, it's not always the best way. And other people, great minds working together and coming together with what's the best solution, maybe a very diverse crowd, and come up with a good solution that everybody can agree on. It might not be the way I thought it should be, but if it works, then it's a good way. All right, that's all I have for you today.
Did you get those last 3 rules? Let's look at them again. Love your passengers. Drive with purpose. Have fun and enjoy the ride. What awesome rules to live by. Remember, the name of the book is The Energy Bus by John Gordon, and it's a wonderful book to have in your library. So this week, remember, you're the driver of your bus. You determine the energy and the attitude of your bus. You can renew your mind by renewing your attitude.
Every day life happens, so every day I use my weapons. I have the word of God in me. Every day I see favor, so I wait, why ask later? God will supply my needs according to His glory. Go throw yourself into the sea. There's no doubt that I believe that in my heart that what I say I will receive. I have faith, though the size of a mustard seed. I won't stop until my dreams become my life and I fulfill His will for me. Every time I need a lifeline, no sweat, got Jesus on the hotline. He will always come to save me. That's life in the kingdom. Jesus died so I could have freedom. And if you believe it, we will see. Go throw yourself into the sea. There's no doubt that I believe it in my heart that what I say I will receive. I have faith, though the size of a mustard seed. I won't stop until my dreams become a life and I fulfill His will for me. I have faith in the God I believe in. The size of a mustard seed. I'm finding Him as a friend. Trust He will take care of me. He's the God I believe in. The size of a mustard seed. I'm finding Him as a friend. Trust He will take care of me. Go throw yourself into the sea. There's no doubt that I believe it in my heart that what I say I will receive. I have faith.
Thank you for tuning in to Intensive Faith Therapy with your host, Vanessa Collins.